So what water does for us, it has a really, really strong sensory connection with our bodies. Simply by the touch of water, we have this flood of neurochemicals, which increases then the circulation of blood to the brain, to the heart. So water has this really powerful effect on our bodies. And then if we look at the sense of sight, when we stand on the beach and we just look, we can get lost in the waves. We can start to feel the waves almost within our own body. And this is true for any body of water. It could be a lake, it could be the ocean, whichever body of water that we stop and look at, somehow we can feel that within ourselves. We can feel the rhythm, the energy within ourselves. So water has this way of calming us. It has a way of soothing our hearts. It has a way of soothing our bodies. And then there's the sound of water, right? We all know what that does. We hear the sound of water, the waves in the ocean. They can help us relax. They can put us to sleep. The waves of the ocean, the frequencies align with our own relaxation frequencies and have this magnanimous effect on this letting go of any stress, any tension, any physical discomfort that we might be holding in different places of our body. And then we all know what water does as far as hydrating us, right? Even though it has no taste. How many times do we say, wow, the water tasted so good? And right, we all say that. And what water really does, it assumes the taste of whatever's added to it, whether it's sugar or salt. Water assumes that taste. And yet, on a day when we're thirsty and we want our thirst quenched, we say out loud, wow, that tasted amazing. I love the taste of water. And then, of course, we have all these different comments on the different brands of bottled water that we might drink, right? So, in a sensory way, water touches us in so many different parts of our body. It helps us soothe and relax and be comforted. And then there's the movement of water, right? The movement of water very much synchronizes with the movement of human nature itself. It aligns with human nature itself. When you think of the word flow, right? It's such a common word today. Get in the flow, be in the flow. Where does that word come from? That word comes from water. When water's in the flow, when water is not stagnant, it's not parked somewhere piled up without movement, then water is more alive. Water has less bacteria. And that holds true for our bodies as well. Think about our nature. When we're in the flow of life, we thrive, we do better. But when we get stuck and we get resistant and we're dissatisfied and discontented, we stagnate. Our bodies feel the pressure of that stagnance. Our bodies feel the aches and the pains when we are resistant and we don't want to let go and we don't want to be in the flow. Then there's the cleansing nature of water as well. A shower can cleanse our whole bodies, right? Water has this way of just washing it all away for us. And the similarities in human nature is, our innate nature, the innate nature of this human body to cleanse itself, to heal itself. If you think about what happens in the overnight process of sleeping, the body has this amazing capacity to clean itself. Similarly, in water, if you drop, a bucket of sand in the water, it'll float for a little bit and then it settles down. Similarly, in our nature, if you drop a ton of stress, a ton of to-dos, we get past it. We learn how to work through them. So this nature of water and this nature of the human body and the human psyche, as well as human emotions, it's very much interweaved. When we look out at water, we say, wow, it's boundless, it's limitless. And if we think about human potential is boundless. Human potential is limitless, right? Each one of us says that when we look at water, like, wow, look at the horizon. You can't even see the end. It's infinity right before your eyes. And such is the nature of water. It gives us life, it brings us to life. And there's only one singular reason for this. It's because we and water, our bodies, our human bodies and water are one. We are made up of water. 70% of our body in adulthood is water, 90% at birth. And the process of aging is actually a process of dehydration because the water levels in our body drop. That's why we get the wrinkles and all of that happens with age. So the process of aging is actually the process of dehydration of our body's capacity to hold the water. So you see, this connection with water is innate, it's natural. When you stand at the ocean and you look at, this rising and falling of the waves, it very much aligns with the rising and falling of the breath in our body. The rise, the fall, the expansion, the contraction, the coolness, the temperature of the ocean water. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's warm. That's very similar to us and our bodies, right? This breath of ours is rising and falling, is contracting and expanding, and we feel the coolness and the warmth. So this is because we've assumed, our body assumes the natural state, the natural properties of water. We can learn so much from the waves just by looking at them. And when we think about, just looking at the waves and the falling and the rising of the waves, that's very much aligned with our own life. So not only does water synchronize with our bodies, but also with life itself. We have so much to learn. Look at this. We're riding this wave of the pandemic. We say, here comes that wave again. Here we are again, yet another wave, right? So building this resilience in our bodies to ride the waves can come easily if we build our capacity to lean into the natural benefits of water simply by streaming our innate capacity to be able to channel water into our lives, right? If we know water calms and soothes us, this imagination of ours, this visual guidance that we can give ourselves, like a guided imagery that we can put ourselves through, and we'll do a practice of that in meditation. This is our own inner streaming, if you will. It's our own personal Netflix. We can stream on demand at will at any time. So today's meditation will circle around the ocean, a walk by the ocean. I'll guide you guys through it. For those of you that have been here before, obviously, you know what the experience is like when we start with a lesson in mindfulness in our 30 minutes. Then we do a 15-minute meditation. And then after that, we'll do just a quick 2 minutes check-in, coming back into the room and honoring the space that we share together.